numbers do not lie. Fire, 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 oh, fire, 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 oh.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of JP's Fire Fantasy Show, where we bring you the most up to date and accurate information from around the fantasy world. Welcome to round two, man, and it's definitely been a journey, but congrats to all the guys that made it this far. We still have 2 weeks to go in order to get the most coveted prize in fantasy. So there's still a little strategizing to do, especially with taking all the injuries into account and all the rest days. So let's go ahead and look at the game layout for week 22. As you can see, there are 10 teams with 4 games this week. Out of the 10 teams, 4 of those teams are already out of playoff contention. That is important because at this point in the season, these teams will begin to rest their stars. Now, it's not definitive, but it is highly likely. For instance, the Jazz have already ruled out Lauri Markkinen for the first game of the week, and the Rockets have ruled out Alperen Sengun for the first game of the week. So just keep that in mind. I know it's probably not the best feeling if you do own one of these guys on those teams, but on a positive note, if you are a team in need of someone from the waiver wire, this should open up the pool a little bit as a lot of these young guys will start to get extended run. So these franchises can kind of see what they have with those guys moving forward. The teams that have 2 games this week are the Pistons, Nuggets, and Heat. So just be mindful if you are targeting players from those teams, they will have the minimum amount of games played. And just a tip for fantasy, man, if you do want to target teams with the max amount of games per week in the playoffs because it will heighten your chances to gain the stats you're looking for to get the win. So just keep that in mind moving forward. Let's go ahead and go to the notable injuries for the week. As you can see, there are a number of stars out to start the week. I'll start with Tyrese Halliburton. He has been ruled out for the next 2 games at least. And since the Pacers have 4 games this week, he will miss a minimum of half the games. So the players that benefit from this the most would be TJ McConnell and Andrew Nimhard. I do believe that these guys have been picked up rather quickly, but if they are available in your league, they should be safe ads at least to start the week. Luka Doncic has also been ruled out for today's contest, and although his injury has been listed as day to day, there has not been any timetable for him to come back. There has been news that he practiced in full last Thursday, but the Mavericks have still not announced any definitive timeline for when he's coming back. So that is a positive. I know if you're a Luka owner, it's not the best of news because this is the most crucial time of the year and we need our first round guys in order to get us over that hump. The players who benefit from Luka being out would be Jaden Hardy. Josh Green has some good games as well, but his production will be limited as long as Kyrie is back. So keep that in mind moving forward. Next on the list is Ja Morant. We finally have good news for Morant owners, man. He was his 8 game suspension was already served last game. He's going to miss the first game this week due to conditioning purposes, but the head coach definitely believes he will be available Wednesday night for the Rockets game, and that would be a huge boost for any Morant owner. So I know it was a tough week last week because of suspension. They don't get the injury tag. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I understand it. But as far as fantasy purposes, man, you guys had to play with a empty roster spot pretty much. So if you made it with Morant on your roster to the second round, congrats and good luck moving forward, man. You get your guy back, and I think he'll close off this year pretty well to submit the Grizzlies in the top 2 seed. So next on the list is Anthony Edwards. He's currently listed as doubtful today from an ankle injury that happened over the weekend. This is not good news for the Timberwolves, as they already are without Karl Anthony Towns. So it doesn't sound like it's anything that's broken. Based on the MRI scans, it was a lot of swell. It was just swelling. So it came back clean, but this is one of those things that can linger, and they can give their star added rest days to have them healthy for a potential play-in run. With that being said, man, let's get right into our Fire Five picks of the week. I went ahead and we're gonna go with three, just because that waiver wire pool is scarce. But these three players should be highly impactful for this week. So let's get right into it, man. At number 3, I have Dylan Brooks. He is currently 46% owned and starting to wreak havoc on the court with stats rather than his antics. Over the last week, he has shot 46.8% from the floor with 3.3 three-pointers made, 15 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 1.3 steals. These numbers have moved him up the rankings to 87th in that span. He has games against the Mavs, the Rockets twice, and the Hawks this week, who rank 19th, 2nd, and 6th against small forwards. Look for him to take advantage of these great matchups and be an essential add for any roster looking to get consistent 3-and-D production. At number 2, I have Jonathan Kuminga. He is currently 28% owned in fantasy leagues, and he is starting to warm up for the Warriors in the most important time of the season. He is finally looking to be over his ankle injury he suffered 2 weeks ago. In his last game against Memphis, he played 30 minutes, shot 50% from the floor, with 24 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal and a block. Draymond did miss that game, but Kuminga should be a valuable part of the rotation due to Andrew Wiggins being away from the team for the foreseeable future. Go ahead and add Kuminga with confidence, as he has 4 games this week. For my fire pick number 1, I have TJ McConnell. He is currently 43% owned in fantasy leagues. Since McConnell has been inserted in the starting lineup for the Pacers, he has played admirably. Over the last 2 weeks, he has averaged a staggering 67.7% from the floor with 12.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 7.8 assists, and 2 steals. The Pacers have the Hornets, Raptors, Celtics, and Hawks this week, who rank 19th, 24th, 17th, and 18th respectively. Look for the veteran to continue to produce on both sides of the ball as long as Halliburton remains out. This concludes our Fire 5 picks for the first part of the week. Once again, good luck to all in the second round. Definitely tune in for part 2 for the final picks of the week. And like I always say, let us know how we're doing. Like and subscribe. And if you ain't learning, you ain't living, man. And be out.
Fire, oh, fire, 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 oh, hey. Don't you play yourself? Don't you play yourself? Why you hate yourself? Countdown.